was November 28th. And does anyone have any comments or changes, corrections to the minutes?
No, I don't.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? Oh, we can't vote. We only have three people.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we'll wait to see if the others show up. All right. I'll make a note. All right. And at this time, does anyone have, any of the public have comment? You can comment now or after a particular item.
Hi, Margie. It's Laura Luker from.
I think maybe.
Am I on?
Okay.
It's Laura Luker, and I've met some of you, and probably if I haven't, I'm just introducing myself too, because I know it's a new year. And I'm on the Radnor Conservancy, and I'm also on Birdtown, which you guys are as well. And I just wanted to say that I'm going to be here tonight. I've got a few things to touch base with you all on, but I'll do that at the end. But I just wanted to say that's why I'm here. Okay? Thanks.
So my name is Diana Pope, and I'm a resident here. I've lived here about a year and a half, though I grew up in Pennsylvania. And I'm here on behalf of the Radnor meeting, the Friends meeting, because we're in Radnor Township, and there's a climate action committee. So we're just trying to know what's going on here and maybe participate in some way. And I'm also a new member of the League of Women Voters, so I'm listening kind of in that capacity as well. Thanks.
We welcome any comments or suggestions from you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm turning on my hearing aid. Okay. All right. So next order is announcements. So the one announcement is the same as one last month, and that is if any of our group here would like to attend the state or regional meeting, EAC meeting on February 24th, which is a Saturday. It is virtual, so you don't have to go anywhere, but it is most of the day. And so let me know if you want to attend. I'll send you the information. If we have 3 or more people from our group attending, then we get a little discount. It's $35 a person, but for 3 or more, it's $75, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, just send me an email or you can let me know after the meeting. Second is something that Melissa let me know. I didn't realize because in the last meeting I was talking about our budget, and the budget we applied for and were approved for is actually already in place. We don't have to wait till June. I guess I'm thinking from my old work when our fiscal year started. So our budget, our money is available starting now. And those are my announcements. Does anyone else have any announcements? All right, so some updates. The lectures seem to be going along well. We do have the one scheduled for February 3rd at 10 o'clock. That's Saturday in this room here on how to start a native plant garden. We've had it in the newsletter and the website. We've gotten so far, I believe, 38 responses, which is pretty good. And Melissa was nice enough to offer to send reminders to all of the people that signed up. So hopefully we'll get some nice attendance. The second one, which is how to determine if solar works for you. We don't do we have the official title? Anyway, it's given by Solarize Delco, and that's on March 16th at 10 a.m., also in this meeting, in this room. And that hasn't been advertised yet, but we'll advertise that after the native plant one. And then Donnell had sent me some emails about setting up a presentation from Shipped. And so she's not here right now. So I don't know how far along that is, but that would be, I thought for April, but then she asked for dates for May, so that may be in May. So if any of you have worked on possibly getting someone, it appears we still have April free. If any of you would like to work on bringing somebody in for our lecture series.
Margie, what is SHIP?
I looked it up, and it's something about reusing materials, I believe. Yeah, I actually looked at the website, and now I don't remember. Let's see. It is a word you like to pronounce very correctly. Same-day delivery. Yeah. This isn't what I saw before. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'll have to check with Donnell about that. Any others? Oh, hey, Emma.
Yeah, I mentioned maybe 2 months ago my interest in having a presentation to the community about improvements in heat pump technology, both for cooling and heating. And I'm still working on that. There's a lot of proprietary slide sessions out there that I know we can't use, so I may have to go to an installer association that would really benefit from that type of exposure to the community. So I'm working on it.
Yeah, if you want to sort of look toward April, or I guess June too would be.
I'll try.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think it matters if we have 2 in a month either, you know. So whatever would work with your folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Dan. All right. So anything else on that topic?
Just
All
a
right,
quick,
yes.
I think it was called Shift.
Oh,
I
shift.
think that's why it wasn't coming up.
Okay.
There's
yes.
something called mainline shift, which is
Shift,
recycling.
Yes, that's why it didn't come up this time.
And like, I
Yes,
think it's
that's what it
something
is.
like refillable bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know much about it, but I
Okay.
think that was.
Yes, a little typo spelling, change that P to an F. Sorry about that. Okay. Anything else? All right, so other updates, the Yard Awards are still happening, oddly enough. We gave out 2 in December, and just one has just asked for a Yard Award, and I haven't gone there yet, but I did reply. And so, yeah, so it's still existing in the winter. If anyone looked at my yard now, all they'd see is mud. It's just, I have a mud yard, so I don't know about theirs, but. And then the native plant giveaway, I'm afraid is still up in the air. I'm having a lot of difficulty connecting. And yeah, so I was told that most likely the Radnor Conservancy will work with us, but there just has not been any particulars going on yet. So that's the best update I can give you on that one. And then the career workshop. Okay, so this has evolved. was after the last meeting, Emma and Ray and I had a little meeting about this. And I think I wanted to have it here. I think Emma and Ray sort of thought it might be better held at the high school. And then I contacted the principal, but didn't get any, well, I got response, but not the way I wanted to. And then Emma got in touch with the vice principal, Mr. Presley, is that how it's pronounced? And he seems like a really good connection. I wrote to him, and he's willing to help, but he said something that was very informative, and that was that good days to do it would be Wednesdays and Thursdays when you have a 1-hour lunch, apparently. And then I thought, well, 1-hour lunch is good, but no one's going to want to give up their entire hour. So then I thought, and Emma, you and Ray and I, and anybody, whatever your input is, then I thought instead of having like maybe a table in the cafeteria with information, and we could have, like we do at the festivals, a little giveaway to draw students to the table, and maybe we'll actually have more effect that way than having an actual formal presentation. I have, gotten tentative okays from several speakers, so it's not like we don't have any speakers, but I don't know. Does that sound like a possibility, Emma?
Yeah, so just kind of like giving me more insight on that. Do you mean like maybe during like lunch times, or just like a general table with information about like environmental careers, and just basically not do the panel anymore? Is that what you're basically saying?
Right.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I was definitely interested in the panel. I think it'd be a good idea to put it out an information table to kind of get a gauge on how many people are actually interested. I know a couple people are interested in like environmental careers, but I would say those are only like 2 people. So I think it'd be a great way to kind of get interest. But I personally love the idea of the panel and doing something a little more formal.
Okay.
I agree with Emma. I think that way you'll get a lot more, be able to deliver more information.
Right.
Whereas the table is 1 or 2, it's not, you can't engage as much.
Well, you can engage. I mean, students come up to the table and you talk to them, you give them information. So you do indeed engage. I mean, it's sort of like a college recruitment thing, only it would be for this. And if you have a giveaway, you might attract people to the table. I don't know. So we'll still pursue both of them, I guess. Yeah.
Could you do like one week a table and to generate interest, and then the following week do the panel?
We could do something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have more discussions with Mr. Presley, but the thing I would really dislike doing is getting all these speakers and then nobody attends. It's one thing when you have one speaker and it's a meager attendance, but having this panel and then there's nobody sitting there, is, I guess, a fear that I don't want to do. I don't want to do that to the speakers. That's becoming my thought, even though I was so excited about this. And then I realized, and I thought about my former college students, and I thought we used to have to give them extra credit to attend things. I don't imagine it's that much different in high school. So even in their own field, they'd say, oh, were we getting extra credit for, coming? So, yeah.
I have a question for Emma. You said only 2 of your classmates were outwardly interested in going to a climate career workshop or whatever.
I mean, those are just people that like I know. I mean, I can't speak for the entire student body, but
Right.
I know that if we set up like a formal kind of panel, absolutely, the science teachers could get involved in that and help spread it to their classrooms, and there
Right.
could be an added layer of trying to get people. I mean, I don't know about extra credit because different teachers have different policies on that, unfortunately. But I know that they'd be very happy to kind of like spread the news about like, hey, there's an environmental panel. I think the table would be a great way to kind of see the type of interest. If you want, maybe doing like a Google forum and then kind of see the number of people that may sign up to kind of go to the council. And obviously, if it's like below 5, then maybe we can cancel it if need be. Hopefully not. But I'd love to pursue the panel,
Well,
really.
I'm 50 years departed from this age group, so to what level are your classmates even aware that there could be a career in this area? And to what degree, on average, are they environmentally concerned or at least aware?
I think the biggest issue is less people being like knowing there's even a environmental career and people just kind of not exactly knowing what they want to do, especially like freshman, sophomore, and a lot of juniors, because as soon as senior year hits, you're kind of like forced to kind of choose a career option. So I think it'd be a great way just for students like themselves to kind of get an idea of what
Right.
do I possibly want to into. I know there's students who know they really like science, but they don't necessarily know what science they want to go into.
Right.
So I wouldn't just limit it to environmental careers, but just science people in general, trying to maybe see if could be a possible passion
I
of
mean,
theirs.
I guess I would reverse the order and have a panel where the students would be required, maybe, or strongly asked to attend so that they will be given this information, and it's not up to them to initiate contact with the information. The information is presented to them. I mean, in all respect, you're still young. Your classmates are still forming their ideas of the world and what they want to do in it. And from my dim memory, when I was exposed to a career counselor, it was very motivating and stimulating. So that's just my suggestion.
Are you maybe suggesting like a classroom presentation or?
Well, when I think of a panel, I think of where you have students listen to a esteemed panel of people up on a podium, and either questions being put to them or the panelists give a short presentation and then questions are being put to them by the audience. It's whatever folks in education know what to do, but I would strongly encourage getting the students exposed to it and not leave it up to them to go to the trough or the water.
I mean, we don't really have control. We can't make them do that.
Well, I know, but I guess there must be cases where there is an announcement of some kind of forum or presentation in your school. Isn't that, or is this unusual?
No. We do like morning announcements are a popular way for people to kind of get to know knowledge, and if you contact the administration office, you can get something posted on Schoology, which is like all grades have access to that. It's just not everybody checks that, and from personal experience, not everybody listens to the morning announcements.
Or get the science teachers involved. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm
no.
taking up your time.
I think that's probably the best way is for science teachers to kind of have, because science teachers have those personal connections with students and they know the students the best. So getting the science teachers involved can really, I think, add that interest to students. I mean, personally for me, I was like approached by a teacher for the environmental council and asked about like, hey, I know you want to go into environmental careers. Have you heard about this? And then that's what got me interested. So I feel like adding that teacher layer could definitely help with that interaction that you're kind of looking for.
Right, good.
And it's not just science teachers, too. I think that would be an obvious place to start, but I do environmental law. I was never one of the science people. I was always more interested in English and history and, legal, to the extent that there were classes on that once I got to high school. So I'm wondering if maybe we could reach out and think about like an Earth Day presentation. Like maybe they would be willing to have a panel at the school. When you first started talking, I started thinking like maybe a brown bag lunch, but I don't know that you'd want to take over the cafeteria, because then you're going to have all the
No,
kids
I
that
don't
are
think you can.
definitely not interested who would be loud, and, I think you want to try to whittle it down to the kids who might actually be interested. And you could propose it as an Earth Day, career panel thing, and then have different folks talking about the variety of ways you can help the environment in your career. And maybe some sort of an RSVP ahead of time would be the way to go, so that we would know roughly, same thing with the lecture series, right? Like if 25 kids reply back, then we'll know there's a nice critical mass of kids. And then I think then the tricky part would be figuring out the where and when of that. But maybe the school would do it if you couch it as like an Earth Day event or something that the school is helping coordinate.
Does your school have an Earth Day events?
We don't. When I say we don't have any environmental kind of program or anything.
That might be a good idea then.
I think that's a great idea. We do have brown bag lunches, but I think the Earth Day would really kind of like hone in on that.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan there, yeah.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is I just checked the calendar, and I'm pretty sure that Earth Day this year is during spring break.
Oh, is it
But
really?
maybe we could do it like the Thursday before, right
Okay.
before leading up to it or something
Yeah.
would probably be okay too.
These are great ideas. Yeah, thanks. Okay. And then the Wayne Preserve looks to me, I'll go past that all the time, looks to me like it's pretty much a done deal now. I don't really have any further information on it. Does anyone have any other information on
No,
it?
it's just decimated.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't leave anything.
There is one spot where there are a few trees, yeah. But, yeah. So, but plus I'm not thrilled these huge, heavy trucks that make the whole house shake go down my street, because that's the way to get to there, and it's not great. But I think in the end, maybe it'll be a good thing, yeah. Okay, and those were, my updates on lectures, and so maybe we did this a little out of order. Dan, you could give us an update on the Green Team, and also if you could talk about that Sierra Club Mayor Board of Commissioners thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Melissa. Yeah. Thanks to Melissa, I got an update on our municipal electric vehicles and charging stations, as well as our energy audit of municipal buildings. And all of them are on the cusp of bearing fruit. We are in the final stages of getting 2 Ford F-150 Lightnings ready. One of them will be, I believe, a special service vehicle, or both of them will be special service vehicles for the police. And there isn't even a standing order for upfitting a Chevy Blazer as an electric pursuit vehicle for the police. So if anyone knows a fully electric car, it can accelerate very rapidly. So that is really exciting. You can't have an EV without a charging station, and there is an effort to get the charging stations installed. And there are bids out to get them in by the end of February. And they should be installed hopefully in time to charge our first electric vehicles. The energy audit of the municipal buildings, particularly this building and the Public Works building, is about to be reported. And there should be a draft of the report due for the February 26th Board of Commissioner meeting. So it's going to be very exciting just to see what Practical Energy Solutions has found to improve the energy efficiency of this building. Everything from lighting to moving air around with heating and air conditioning, insulation, and also proposals for installing solar panels on the flat roof that we have. So a lot of things will be coming up for our February meeting. Lastly, I became aware through Jim Wiley, who is our local Sierra Club representative, that there is a Climate Mayor's letter of support for the proposed EPA greenhouse gas emission standard for heavy-duty vehicles, particularly reducing the emissions of diesel fumes from trucks transporting freight. If anyone follows AccuWeather or their own weather app, there's usually a pollution system or a grading system that you can look up and see just what today's air is like. And usually it's poor in this area. And the two main pollutants are small particulate matter and nitrogen oxides, nitrogen dioxides. And a major source for these two pollutants is diesel exhaust. If you noticed on the windowsill of your house, after a while, there's this kind of dark stuff accumulating. So we're pretty near to the Blue Route, and I've often wondered if that stuff is just soot coming from a diesel exhaust. So although diesel is a very effective way to move freight, it is unfortunately quite polluting. So there was something in Jim's letter that said that, okay, battery-operated semi-tractor trailers cannot carry long-haul freight. They don't have the energy capacity in the batteries to do that. But short hauls, which comprise about 30% of the emissions from diesel, could very well be outfitted with electric trucks. So this letter, which as I understand will be addressed to the President of the United States, requesting that there would be a support for this EPA proposal to have emission standards for heavy-duty vehicles. So we're asking that, I guess, Moira, as our mayor, consider signing on to this letter.
Yeah, I mean, she's not here, but
Actually, Maggie Myers is president now. She's chair. Maura is vice.
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We changed.
Well, we can talk afterward about
Yeah.
forwarding that.
Send her an email or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
however you want to proceed, Melissa.
Okay.
Would this be something that we would look at ahead of time as a council and then send over?
Yes, well, I mean, Jim's email actually had a letter, draft letter to send to the mayor, and then for a letter for the mayor to send to the president. But I think we can communicate directly.
Yeah, I don't think it requires
Yeah.
our okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But certainly we should all review the content of the letter to the president, and I think it was in the original email that I CC'd you all on. And we should look that over. And by the next meeting, or between now and the next meeting, give me and Melissa any comments you have or reservations.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for the EAC to, give their support behind this letter and recommend that it go before the board and Maggie.
Great, thank you.
So, do we need to vote on this then? I mean,
I don't think we can vote unless we've
No,
all
we
read
don't have
read
a-
it through and.
yeah,
Right.
okay. Well, send
We
send
should-
us the letter, send everyone the letter, and then,
Well, you do have a quorum tonight. You have a
Okay.
quorum. We have 7 members, correct? Yeah, but we do have a quorum. So you only need 4.
Well, for
To vote.
advancing it to our head commissioner, just as far as that goes.
I mean, something
could
like that
vote
can
on
just
that.
come from an individual resident. I don't know that we have to vote on that.
Okay,
We can just, look it over and say, this is great, let's send it on. But if I don't know that we need to wait another
Okay.
month to do a vote.
I'm not seeing any
Yeah.
reservation on the faces of your.
I mean, look what the Green Team achieved, and you didn't have any official status. So, yeah,
Right.
sometimes I think official status counts against you.
Yeah,
No, I think
right,
it's a great idea. I think,
Yeah.
we should definitely do that.
yeah.
Send it to Maggie and.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Are there any other topics, any other business you want to bring up, or new business?
Margie, I don't think your mic is on.
What did you, oh, I didn't speak in the mic, I'm sorry. Yeah, is there any other topics you want to bring up, any old business you want to bring up, or do you have any new business? Any other public comment? Yep.
I just wrote some notes, that's all I have here, hold on. So Laura Luker again. Kind of going from your top of your agenda, so that EAC advisory, all-day seminar, that looks really fabulous. I know that Amber is going, and I possibly going to go, so maybe there might be some others too. So it'll be very not going, it's virtual, but that is a great, We Can Serve Pennsylvania does such an amazing job. So for some of those presentations that you have going, like the February 3rd, How to Start a Native Plant Garden, and also the March 16th, I don't know if that's the right date, for the Determine the Solar Works. I didn't know about those. I don't know if Amber knows about those, and we can also help get the word out as well. Is it on the webpage?
I'll send you the link.
Great. And speaking of programs, so Birdtown, PA also has on January 22nd a utility scale solar guidelines for solar development for municipalities webinar. And I don't know, is that the same thing that you guys are doing?
Our Solarize is on March 16th.
Yeah, okay, so this is a different program. This is co-sponsored by PA Audubon Council and We Conserve. I can send you that just so you know. It might be helpful to have some more information. Also, on February 8th, there is Saving Birds Through Coffee, Banding, and Land Conservation at the Willistown Conservation Trust, which has been working to conserve land in Chester and Delaware County, and it plays a significant role in bird conservation. In fact, you guys, you know, WCT is probably the most highly recognized bird banding in the mid area. Really kind of, they've got all the technology and they've got some very smart people who are working there, and they have a great, beautiful property to do all that on. I don't know if you've ever done it during migration, the bird banding. It's fabulous. You just go on their website and you can sign up and go. It's early in the morning and you watch and help, and it's really amazing.
What is the date of that one?
Well, this one is February 8th at 7 p.m. And I don't know if this is virtual or not. It doesn't, I think it's going to be held at Willistown Conservation Trust. They have a few other programs that they're working on still, but this flyer came out before Christmas, so I will be up to date pretty soon when we have our leader meetings. But anyway, so that was kind of some new stuff to add to some of your programs, just to kind of check in to see. You know, the career workshop, I think is such a cool idea, and I'm glad you've gotten to be with Mr. Presley. Usually you have to go through curriculum. They're the ones who will allow you to plug in, and they're usually very open-minded to all of that. And I do agree that a panel is probably it's just more formal. It really will be more impactful. And I'm not quite sure, Emma, if you know, there typically used to be a day where all the tables of all the clubs would come out, and all the, sports stuff, and that would be kind of a good thing to put in and just get a pulse and say, this is when this is happening, and people kind of get to know a little bit more. Are you familiar with that time, or has it already happened?
Yeah, unfortunately, the activities fair always happens either the first or second week of school.
Oh, so it's
long
okay.
past,
Okay.
unfortunately. Yeah.
All right, well, missed that boat. Okay. I'm so glad you're getting more yard people. That's really great. And the green team, that's, you guys are doing great. Do you follow the, what is it? It's called the Renewable and Energy Conservation Plan. Is that your plan that you work with?
Yeah, we initiated the idea with the township and got a commission to have it drawn up.
Yeah,
by,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
by the same Practical Energy Solutions
Right.
who were doing the energy audits.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, so that's the guide, and there's certainly the next step is a more comprehensive plan, which is not the comprehensive plan, which is being drawn up or revised for the township, but there are ones that we could well focus on certain sectors or sources of energy use that could be worked on in more detail.
Yeah, well, it's a huge piece, and you're a volunteer, right? I mean, there's townships that have a person who solely does that, you know,
Right.
like Lower Merion.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing. So, I mean, you're doing some nice things and
thank you.
doing that. That's really great. Okay, so what I wanted to do was two things. One, kind of give you a more update about Birdtown, and also let you know about the comprehensive plan. So, you know, Birdtown, PA is probably, it just turned PA. So it just added, it was, first of all, they added 9 new bird towns, and that means we're at 57 bird towns in Pennsylvania. It's huge. They completed the process to a federal trademark, our name, Birdtown, PA, and logo, with all the rights that go with it. And they joined Bird City Network, led by the American Bird Conservation and Environment for the Americans. They received a $10,000 donation from Penn Community Bank, and with these funds, 11 500 mini grants were awarded following a criteria application process. So there's grants. If you have like a little, you know, something that you want to do and you need money, there are things that can be done by that. They developed, published, and distributed the rack card about our program and also a native plant brochure. These are them. These are them, and they are, I'll give you guys so you can see them. They're really nice to hand out and have at your programs as well. They created a Ways and Means Committee for fundraising and sponsorships. They've held 4 workshops in collaboration with We Conserved and PA Audubon. And they developed and held with Valley Forge Audubon a special Birdtown webinar in the spring to engage municipalities in their territory and encouraged them to join Birdtown programs. I'm so impressed with this group. And Birdtown is such a wrong name because they really should be called Ecotown or something to that degree. It is really more about your, you know, habitat and backyard habitats and what we're doing. And these communities that are all getting together are basically the EACs. The Birdtown, as our Birdtown, was put together by the EAC and the Radnor Conservancy to create, you know, it's under this logo. So one thing I really would like to do, and I will talk to you again this year, talk to you, Melissa, again, get more of our logo and information on the website, because when you look, you can see the logo, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what it's all about. You have to click it, and I just think there needs to be more presence about it. Secondly, when you do your programs, I really would love to have material there, and I can be there to help be part of that, but just to get the word out. And I just finished putting together their annual report, which they ask you to do every year. It's very comprehensive, which, I mean, the detail of asking you what you have done over a year and all of your goals, and list them out, how many people were involved, how many hours, how many volunteers. It's really unbelievable. And we actually, when you combine what the townships have done, the township has done, either through Shade Tree or through EAC or through other entities such as the Conservancy, the library, the Willows, we've done a lot. And we should be really, we are at gold level. We are at a high level for our applicant of it. So I submitted that, and it kind of you might not realize it, but when you look at this whole thing together, we've done a lot here for the township, which is really exciting. So I just really want to keep pushing this in front of you guys and having you be part of it because you are. And the other thing is the township is going through a comprehensive plan. I happen to be on the steering committee, and I don't know if you know, but we started out with last year another group, and then we decided that wasn't working out, or I didn't say we, but they decided it wasn't working out. We have a new group, and there's a little different approach, and the single most important approach they really want to hone in on is a survey. And I don't know if you know about it, and if you don't, I'm going to give you one of these so you can go and sign up because it's closing pretty soon. Everything that you do on this diocese really kind of comes through that comprehensive plan. That's where the governance happens, through the BOC and through their initiatives as well. You can say something to the BOC, but the BOC will say, well, it's not in our plan. It's not, so we're not going to really, can't do it, or it's not necessarily that tight, but that's the gist of it. So there's a lot going on, and it's great. So I want you guys to get and, be involved. And if you haven't, have you guys done it?
Yeah.
Have you done it? You've done
I
it?
have.
You have not?
No, I've
You have?
filled the survey out.
I don't know if you can. I think you should. I'm going to give you one.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to come to the native plant talk and hand some things out, you're welcome to. Mhm. I have one last thing that I got an email from Jillian from the League of Women Voters, and she sent me an article from the New York Times about Jane Goodall giving this presentation. By the way, she's going to be 90 years old. It's pretty amazing. And about, how important voting is, and this year so many countries will be having very, very important votes for that will have an impact on the earth. So I'm just wondering if there is something that, we do have a very active League of Women Voters, but they're supposed to be nonpartisan. We don't have to be nonpartisan necessarily. If there is something we could do in connection with the, to stimulate voting, particularly maybe among young people, and so forth. I don't really have any ideas, but I just thought I'd throw it out there, something. If you want to think about it, we could talk about in a subsequent meeting, sort of put our little 2 cents in. I don't know how much, I guess I don't know how partisan we can be either, since we're part of the township, but we can certainly bring out issues that are important. Yeah. So I just thought I'd mention that. So is there anything else?
I can comment a little bit about that. There's advocacy versus being partisan. And so you can advocate for policies, but the league can't promote a particular piece of legislation, but you can certainly advocate for policies without being political.
If there's nothing else, then I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.